Welcome to Conditioning for Dancers Level 7 and Pre-Professional. These preparatory exercises are designed to take approximately 15 to 20 minutes. Some of these exercises will be old familiars, while many build on the lessons learned in previous levels, adding repetitions and variations to continue to challenge and advance core strength and stabilization. We will begin with the single bent leg stretch crisscross combination. Dancers will be in hook lying position and then lift their knees to a 90-90 tabletop position, one leg at a time. Initially, they will keep their head, neck, and shoulders on the floor and maintain neutral spine. They should place their right hand on the inside of the left knee and their left hand on the outside of the left calf or knee. Dancers will then hug the left leg to their chest while extending the right leg out so that it is approximately 1 foot off the floor. And then, upon exhale, roll the head, neck, and shoulders off the floor to imprint the low back into the mat. Dancers should alternate knees to chest, smoothly switching leg and hand positions, while inhaling for 2 repetitions and exhaling for 2 repetitions. Repeat 10 times, alternating legs. Then, have the dancers lace their fingertips behind their neck. While exhaling, stretch the right leg out on a 45-degree angle and roll the right armpit towards the left knee. The low back should be imprinted on the floor with the belly button pulled towards the spine. Inhale to prepare, and while exhaling, switch to the opposite knee to chest and opposite armpit to knee. Perform this exercise 8 times in succession, watching out for rib flare, excessive pulling on the head, or loss of pelvic stability that will be seen in arching of the low back or rocking of the pelvis from side to side. Also make sure that the exercise remains fluid. Modifications include raising the leg height towards the ceiling to facilitate neutral spine, slowing the tempo down, or lowering the head, neck, and shoulders if the neck strain is too much. The next exercise is the twist and dip. Dancers lie in the hook lying position and lift their knees into tabletop position, one leg at a time, maintaining neutral spine. Dancers will then glue their thighs, knees, and ankles together. They should twist their shins to the right while keeping the knees over the pelvis. Maintain neutral spine and dip the feet towards the floor, and then lift the knees back up. Repeat to the other side. Dancers will perform 2 sets of 8 repetitions, watching out for rib flare, pulling on the head or neck, loss of pelvic stability, and loss of fluidity of the motion. If necessary, have the dancers slow down or decrease the range of motion of the legs in order to maintain neutral spine. Next, we have the bridges with the single leg développé variation. Dancers will lie on their back with their knees bent and feet resting on the floor. Pull the belly button toward the spine. Inhale in place and then exhale while lifting the hips up, articulating through each vertebrae of the spine. At the top of each bridge, dancers will add a march of each leg to the 90-90 tabletop position, and then développé and enveloppé. Pelvic stability and not amplitude of the leg is the important focus of this exercise. Dancers should perform 2 alternating march repetitions with développé, enveloppé before inhaling in place at the top of the bridge and then exhaling to return to the starting position while articulating through the spine. Overall, dancers should complete 10 repetitions of the bridge march series. Next, we have the clamshell series with TheraBand and passe variations. This is the same as has been performed in the previous level. Dancers tie a light TheraBand snug around their thighs just above their knees, and they lie on their side with their knees bent, hips stacked, and abdominal muscles drawn in. They should keep heels touching and lift and rotate the top knee towards the ceiling without moving the spine or rocking the pelvis forward and back. Limit the range of motion of the top knee so that the hips remain stacked, and do not prop the head up from the floor with the hands, as this will change neutral spine. Dancers perform 20 reps before transitioning to the passe variation. For the second set of 20 repetitions, dancers will straighten the bottom leg and elevate it to 5 to 6 inches off the floor while performing clamshells with the top leg. They must maintain neutral spine and pelvic stability. The biggest difference at this level is the demand for endurance. The dancers are now completing 10 reps without breaks of each variation on each side. The next exercise is a new one. Sideline hip adduction, both in parallel and turned out positions. The dancers will lie on their sides with their knees straight, hips stacked, and the abdominal muscles drawn in. The first set is done in parallel. The dancer places the top knee, shin, and ankle on the floor in front of their bottom leg. Without moving the spine or sinking into the bottom side of the waistline, lift the bottom leg a few inches from the floor. Lift up and down, repeating 10 times per side. Note that the height of the leg is not the focus of this exercise, but rather keeping the pelvis stable and the spine in neutral. In the second set, the top leg shifts to a turned out passe position, and the bottom leg also turns out so that the knee is facing the floor. That is not well visualized in this video. Again, without moving the spine or sinking into the waistline on the bottom side of your body, lift the bottom leg a few inches from the floor. Repeat this 10 times. Throughout this exercise, please watch for the drop in the waist of the floor. Watch for pelvic instability that will be shown in rocking forward or backward. If those errors occur, decrease the height of the leg or have the dancer lie up against a wall to help improve stability. Moving on to side plank with hip abduction. Your dancers will lie on their side with the bottom knee bent and the top leg extended. They should draw their belly towards their spine while maintaining neutral. Then they lift their hips off the floor, planking from forearm to the bottom knee, keeping the elbow directly under the shoulder. At the top of the plank position, dancers should lift the top leg until it is parallel to the floor, and then lower it back down to the floor without rocking the pelvis, arching the back, or dropping the hips. Dancers should perform 2 sets of 10 repetitions. Please note that the height of the leg, again, is not the focus of this exercise, but rather keeping the pelvis stable. Watch for rib flare, neck or shoulder strain, or sinking into the shoulders. If necessary, have the dancers keep that top leg on the floor or decrease the height of the leg lift. Moving on to prone dart extension variation, we will be adding in port de bras with the leg extensions. Dancers are somewhat familiar with this exercise, so they will begin lying on their stomach with their legs straight and their arms down by their side with the palms facing the floor. They should draw their belly towards the spine and engage the glutes, elongating the lower back. Upon inhale, the dancers will lift their arms 1 inch from the floor, extending their sternum forward, up, and away from the floor without sinking into the lower back or pulling the shoulders towards the ears. Dancers should carry the arms from the side into a high 5th position and then return the arms down to the side, palms down, fingertips reaching towards the feet. Then lower the arms, leg, and chest to the start position. Dancers should repeat this 10 times, alternating the leg that is performing the hip extension. Watch for a drop in the waistline to the floor, loss of length of the spine, or loss of abdominal support. If necessary, decrease the range of motion of the arms or decrease the height of the lift of the sternum or legs in order to ensure that abdominal support and the length of the lower back is maintained. The final 2 exercises carry over from the previous level. Ugly point to work on the mobility of the arch, and the toe dance to refine forefoot control. First, ugly point. Sit tall, hold the instep of 1 foot with both hands. Start by curling the toes and then trying to follow with a strong point from the arch forward. Then pull the arch back and release the toes. In this video, the dancer is just working on the toe portion of the exercise, but your dancers should add in an attempt to point the foot from the arch without moving the ankle. Please don't allow the movement to progress past your stabilizing hands. Dancers should perform 2 sets of 8 on each foot. Again, the biggest precaution here is that you can get cramping in your arch. If that occurs, let your dancers shake their foot out and or stretch their arch, and then begin again. And finally, we end with the toe dance, working the big toe against the lesser 4 toes. Sit tall on the floor with the legs stretched out in front and in parallel. Try not to wing or sickle the ankles. Softly point the feet and then flex just the big toe, followed by the 4 lesser toes. And then point just the big toe, followed by the 4 lesser toes together. Initiate the first 8 repetitions with the big toe. Initiate the second set of 8 repetitions with the lesser toes. Dancers may use their hands or fingers to assist as needed with the articulation. This ends the Level 7 Pre-Professional Conditioning Series. Good luck and thank you.